Hello, and welcome to me taking a first look at this game called Coffee Noir. It's a business sim of some sort. I don't know. I'm liking the music though and the aesthetics of it. I am noticing though that this animation is a little jittery for some reason, but that's such a small thing. This is a game that is in the Steam Autumn Game Festival, and I'm excited to try it out because why not? It's fun to kind of get a first look at a bunch of games. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. At the beginning of the 20th century, for unexplained reasons, world's coffee consumption increased 20 times. This phenomenon, called as coffee mania, reached its peak in the 1940s and caused a huge turmoil. Okay.
The world of 2021 is ruled by coffee, and Neo-London goes crazy for it. They say that in this job only two cases matter, the one that breaks you and the one that makes you.
Okay, I'm turning it up.
Makes you a real cop.
Oh, okay.
I'm Arthur Oliver, and I'm a private investigator. But I used to be a cop here in Neo-London.
I expect it to
I
go
quit
on
10
its
years
own.
ago. I failed. I hoped I'd never come back here. I read about Richard Kersey's disappearance in the papers on a train journey. Coffee tycoon vanishes, the front page headline of the Neo-London Espresso screamed. For many, Kersey was a wealthy celebrity buffoon, pure envy. They lost contracts and profits to him. They even lost their reputations as he dragged competitors through the courts. And me, I lost a lot more to him. Catherine, my beloved, and his wife.
Oh.
10 years ago, Richard was involved in a spot of bother. He had a debt. Unfortunately for him, it was Kath who received the demands for payment. Kersey happened to be abroad at the time, totally out of reach. She got scared and tried sorting it out herself, in cash. She asked me for help. I couldn't do it in my official capacity, but I took my gun and set up a sting. It ended tragically. A few days ago, Henry called, Richard's older brother. He sounded down, just like me. I know all about it, Arthur. You quit the force. You're still tormented by Kath's murder. Listen, Richard's daughter doesn't have to know anything about you two, nor Richard, but I'm begging you, help me find him. I'll give you a flat to live in, some cash and cover story that you're a salesman. Just come, please. So I'm in Neo-London again. The business with Catherine broke me. So maybe the case with Richard will be the one to make me a real cop again. Richard's disappearance was big news. There was speculation about mafia involvement, either Italian or Yakuza. I think there might be something in that. Little Clarabelle, Richard and Kath's daughter. The last time I saw her was at her mother's funeral. I wanted to comfort her. Now it looks like it's her who wants to comfort me. She's so like her mother, especially her eyes. Can't forget watching the life draining out of Catherine's eyes. On the way to the hotel, Clarabelle told me her father might have been kidnapped by an angry competitor. It's a possibility. Kersey did all sorts of weird deals with even weirder people. Maybe one of them had enough of Richard's caprices. Over the phone, Clarabelle confirmed what Henry had promised. There was a flat and a position as a salesperson in their family business. That was to make investigating easier. Fair enough. Let it be. If that's what the investigation demands, I'll become the best damn salesperson in Neo-London. I'll help Clarabelle with her business. I'll find Richard. I'll find your killer, Kath. I won't let you down twice. Promise.
Was that... Okay. That was a lot of exposition. I feel like that was a bit much, but... The world of... Oh my gosh, there's more exposition. Okay, this is such... Okay. That's a lot. Okay. Anyway. In the... Excuse me. Okay. The world experienced a great technological advance, but still lives the 20s aesthetic. Technology, clothing, and transport are developing, but still have the elegant retro design. In the times of the great geographical discoveries, some mentions about the miraculous black coffee emerged. Unfortunately, the seekers have never found its source. The coffee industry has become the most dynamically developing branch of economy in the 20th century. It's unknown why the beverage's consumption rose so rapidly. According to legends, shamans in South America used a strain of coffee with its specific features to contact their ancestors. In New London itself, there are hundreds of coffee roasting plants, coffee providers, and companies that specialize in developing new products made from manufactured coffee. Over the years and after the period of coffee mania, due to the rise in production, an industry of fertilizers made from coffee dregs and production phase. What? Okay, I don't even know what that word was. Okay. The scientists researching the causes of coffee mania claim that the odd and excessive love for coffee states was a trait acquired by society in a certain short period of time at the turn of the 19th and 20th century. Some still have access to coffeeum, a drug based off coffee. It's only available to the richest who know where to find it. To this day, the coffee market matters the most. Businessmen who trade coffee are most known and respected in Neo-London. New entrepreneurs eagerly seek luck in the coffee industry. The love for coffee in Neo-London is so strong that people start using it as a spice in their meals or the key ingredient of their dishes. Some restaurants committed their whole menus to dishes with those black grains. The oldest Neo-Londoners who grew up in the 40s recall the old times with nostalgia and longing. They say that modern coffee is no match for the one they could taste when they were so young. At the beginning of the 20th century, the world of coffee consumption has radically risen in a short time. The phenomenon had its source in Great Britain and is called coffee mania. Neo-London is not free from shady schemes and organizations lying in wait for the weakness of coffee magnates. The Yakuza and the Italian Mafia hide in shadows, or maybe in broad daylight. Since the start of coffee mania, London underwent such great economic change and technological progress that people started calling it Neo-London. The government eventually accepted a new name as the official one. Running a cafe is one of the best ways to earn money in Neo-London. The citizens love stopping by to taste new coffee blends and snack on tasty cakes and coffee-flavored dishes. Zeppelins are used for their sky-high advertisements in transporting people or goods. At present, they are much more efficient and safer than their 19th century counterparts. Single-use products are usually made of coffee industry waste. Thanks to that, they're cheaper and there's no problem with excessive waste. Okay, so that was a big lore dump. That was so much. That was too much. But we finally get to go into the game.
Dear
Oh my gosh,
Arthur,
there's more.
Thank you again for agreeing to work on this case in such unusual circumstances. As I mentioned during our last meeting, Uncle Henry and I suspect that one of my father's business partners must be involved in his disappearance, or at least knows something about it. We believe it would be best to work undercover and meet them offering a delivery contract. It's also better that a private investigation will remain as a secret. Check out the instructions I've left you and look around in your office. After that, meet me at my cafe. See you soon. Clarabelle Kersey.
Okay. Oh boy, this is a hard font to read. That's so small. Okay. Welcome to your office. This place is in the command center from your company and the investigation you are conducting. From the office view, you can jump to all game sections. You have a preview. What? Okay. So this is the main financial results this week. Try to make revenues higher than costs. Yeah. Okay. Access to the main sections of the company. They're the last report and tutorial. You can always minimize or maximize. Okay. You can also go to the main sections of the company by clicking on the elements of the office if it's more convenient for you. You check the list of required tasks on the board. During the gameplay, the new tasks have appeared on this board. Okay, that's a typo. Your first task is to meet Clarabelle and sign a business contract. Okay. You'll find information about available customers interested in your company's offer. They are also suspects in your investigation. In each chapter of the story, you'll find other customers here. Your goal is to meet with every customer and sign a coffee supply contract. Thanks to this, you will not only get funds to support your business, but you also get clues to your investigation. Each customer reports a demand for a certain branded coffee with a certain level of quality. To be able to attend a meeting, you must start producing coffee that the customer wants to buy. During the meeting, you will conduct a sales conversation and contract negotiations. It's worth getting to know the customer beforehand. A handful of valuable information can be found by clicking this field. I don't want to... Oh, okay. A general description will allow you to better prepare for negotiations. Each customer conducts the conversation in a different way. Pay attention to the characteristics. Try to capture information that might be useful during the conversation. The meeting will only be possible if you have an appointment with the customer. Assign an employee to this task in the management section. This is so much information. This is overwhelming amounts of information. Okay. When the appointment is arranged, you can go for it by clicking the button. Focus and don't do it too lightly. Okay, look. So see the classic standard coffee available. Okay, wait. She's a student and works in the Family Cafe Coffee. She wanted to earn some money of her own and help conduct a business. Clarabelle is a modest, sensitive, and warm-hearted dreamer. Sometimes she has her head in the clouds, which is the reason she was laughed at by her peers. Her excessive trust and gullibility are some of her biggest flaws. Her inexhaustible faith in people is a little puzzling since she went through the tragic death of her mother, Catherine Kersey. After her father, Richard Kersey, went missing, she's trying to do everything to find him. Okay. Much of the in-game conversations are business meetings where you offer companies products and negotiate the price of deliveries. Okay. Choose from the available phrases. Introduce yourself and compliment her on the cafe's decor. Ask for a coffee and piece of cake. Let's be cordial.
Hello, Miss Clarabelle. The cafe looks great. Really bright, cozy, homely.
Hello. Thanks. The decor was my father's work. He was very careful to create a friendly atmosphere. Please don't call me miss.
Okay.
Sorry, it's your hairstyle. You look so young, I couldn't help myself. But fine. First names only.
Great. Let's get down to business.
Okay. Well, we're asking about childhood now.
I want to ask about your childhood. I know there are painful memories, but it's important for the case.
This is annoying.
All right. I've had time to get some distance on it. How can I help?
Tell me, how you coped after your mother's death.
Well, not too well. Dad hated talking about it. He worked a lot, went away a lot. And me? I remember lying there, crying. Mr. Pensy was with me. He took my temperature, brought me cups of tea. I was alone.
Any friends? School psychologist?
I had this one friend, Amy. She came to cheer me up a couple of times, but I think I wore her out. I was incredibly shy as a child. The school psychologist sent me to a psychiatrist for medication. I was supposed to go there with an adult, but it never happened.
Okay. So I'm really liking just like the art of this game. It's really pretty. I find it interesting though, because she looks kind of 3D, but also not.
Why? Something changed. Something got better?
Yeah, you could say it was thanks to Mr. Van Haven.
Hold on, I'll write this down. Who was it?
Joseph Van Haven, Dad's friend from college. He and his wife Amanda offered to take care of me, together with his housekeeper. I was to sleep at my home, spend the day with them, mainly with Mrs. Fink, the housekeeper. Dad immediately agreed.
And you? Did you have any say in it?
I was a bit scared at first, but they were really nice. They were like my family. They still are.
Thanks, Clarabelle. That's a lot of help. Can you give me a contact number for Van Haven and Fink? I'd like to ask them a few questions.
Sure, here you go.
Great. Who do you think I should meet first?
Mr. Van Haven. Visit him posing as a sales rep. Sell him some coffee. He's a really nice guy and a good candidate for checking your abilities.
Investigative abilities?
Business and negotiating. Remember that you operate undercover and you must be credible. Only then will investigative skills come in handy.
I feel like they're explaining the same thing to us like 4 times over, and it's a lot. So, yeah. Let's just get into details. We'll figure it out along the way.
I know everything now.
I don't want to be tutorialized anymore.
Yes, we have to practice contract negotiating. As it happens, I need a fresh delivery. Let's roleplay the scene where you offer me a contract. Ready?
Couldn't be readier. Let's start.
Okay. Can I get rid of... Okay.
I think I'm ready. Let's try a negotiation and point out anything I get wrong. And when I recover from that, you can give me some more tips.
Okay, let's begin negotiating.
Alright. Let's compliment. Oh, during each sales conversation, before giving a specific offer, you have time to get to know the customer. Okay, before the offer is presented, the choice of these phrases affects the overall attitude of the interlocutor. A satisfied customer is more likely to accept a higher price. Okay.
Good morning. I've come to talk about supplying her coffee to you, but if I'm going to talk about coffee with such a lovely lady, it will have to be over
It's just a pickup
coffee.
line.
Oh dear, Arthur. Complimenting my appearance or flirting with me really isn't a good idea in a business context. I know you meant to be nice, but someone else might take it differently. Very differently.
Okay.
Good morning. Is that coffee cake? That smells good enough to stop traffic.
Really? Thanks for saying so. We just finished baking it. Here it is.
Okay.
Wow, it looks better than it smells. Did you make this, Miss Clarabelle Kersey, I presume? I've come to talk to you about coffee supplies.
Not bad, Arthur. A well-judged compliment can work wonders. But some clients don't like them. Now do you see why doing your research on the customer is so important?
Okay.
Yes, I knew you liked baking cakes, so I could mention it, but it's only a small thing from your private life.
Precisely. Everything can be useful during negotiations.
Okay. Let's do this.
Okay. I got this. Good morning. I've come about your coffee supplies, namely the classic standard.
No, if you start like that, there's no way you'll succeed. You have to be prepared for negotiating and know what to start the conversation with. Improvising is okay too, but it has to be snappy.
I can do snappy.
Great, show me.
Alright, we'll just continue.
Can we move on to establishing the terms of the agreement? What does a contract like this look like?
Here's a standard contract. Here, look.
Okay, in the contract form, you specify the unit price of the coffee that the customer is interested in. This will be the starting point for negotiations. If you set the prices too low, the client will sign the contract immediately without trying to negotiate it, and for you it means an unprofitable business. If the price is set too high, the client will immediately notice it. After 3 tries, he or she will end the meeting. Pay attention to how cost and different profit change at the different settings. Okay, above the value of cheap deal and try and make an offer. Okay. Let's go with this.
Good, that looks acceptable. Be prepared that the client will want to renegotiate the terms here. Assume that they're going to ask for a price lower by this percentage. How are you going to persuade me your offer is already attractive enough?
Emphasize low unit cost. Agree to a lower price if they order more. Quality. Oh, okay. After initial offer, yeah. Try choose. Okay.
Let's look at the price in relation to quality. Everything about our coffee's top drawer. taste, aroma, and certification. Coffee like that at a price like this is a real bargain.
Let's assume I will agree for such discount. Every supplier claims his or her coffee is the best. How are you going to support your claims so they don't come across like empty boasts?
Some facts and figures to prove that this discount is a sensible bargain.
There you go, Arthur. That's how you support your credibility and generate client trust. But it would be better if you actually knew some data. For a first go at negotiating, that went pretty well. Let's say I'll sign the contract, but I have one more proposal. The first month's batch for lower price. Agreed?
Agree.
Okay, it's a reasonably big order, so I guess we can do that.
The client is sure to be happy, but does it still pay for you? Conceding too easily to surprise conditions can cost you a lot.
Okay, you've got me there. I'll remember that.
I think that covers everything. Now it's time to put it into practice, both as a business person and a negotiator. Make sure you swat up on the materials and look at this week's tasks.
Thank you. I'm sure it will all prove helpful in this investigation and in finding your father. See you soon, Clarabelle.
Thanks, Arthur. It means a lot to me. Now it's up to you, and I think you're the last hope I've got.
Okay. So, yeah. When the customer agrees to arrangements, she signs the contract. This is so much tutorializing. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. This is so much tutorializing. I'm 22 minutes into the recording. Oh my gosh, it's more. I don't care. Oh, so this is just like your loading screen. Okay. This is so much information being thrown at me. Like, let me just have some gameplay, please. Okay. New part of story has been discovered. Okay, sales section. Yeah. According to contract, you have to send the order. Okay. Production section. Sets the volume of coffee production for a given week. Okay, pay attention to whether you have enough coffee for the next delivery. The batch set to be produced will go to the warehouse next week. Okay, set the production value of classic standards so that the sum of the stock level and the set production is equals the sales value. Okay, so I just need to get... Wait, 12? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I am so done with being tutorialized. Okay. To this task, ensure supervision over... Okay, you. Go. You. There we go. Okay. The last conversation, a new part of the story was discovered. Oh my gosh, this is so much. Like, it's so much exposition.
Someone important lives here. That's what the Kersey home seemed to be saying. This is where the investigation begins. Walking in, Clarabelle hugged herself. From the cold, cute. Clarabelle only slept here, though. After her mother's death, she was taken in by Joseph Van Haven, her father's friend, who treated her like his own daughter. His wife tried. Mostly, though, she left her to the housekeeper, Mrs. Fink. Why did the Van Havens raise the Kersey kid? A friendly favor? Guilt. The servant greeted Clarabelle with a stack of unopened letters. She stuffed them into her bag and went inside. A lot to catch up, I joked. and Clarabelle explained that she no longer lives in the residence with her beloved. I asked for a family photo of the Kerseys. There was an exotic-looking guy in the midst of a sea of pale Brits. Mr. Gabriel was an artist who taught Clarabelle to draw. He looked pretty stiff, probably trying to avoid her dreamy eyes. In the living room, among many works of art, a spot after a taken-down painting drew my attention. It was a peculiar view. Clarabelle told me the painting belonged to her mother. One day, Richard simply packed it up and took it to Joseph. Did he want to sell it? Hide it? I didn't get a chance to ask. Clarabelle answered an urgent call and, apologizing, left in a hurry. I went to gather my thoughts. Catherine's death, Richard's disappearance, the unusual arrangements with the Van Havens, that picture. Clarabelle was right. A detective was needed here. But I have my own reason for this. To get Catherine's killer. All in good time. The last lead is Richard's disappearance. Perhaps the best-known coffee supplier in London. I'll start by entering into his world. That means turning into a businessman. My first customer will be Richard's old friend and Clarabelle's ward, Joseph Van Haven. Clarabelle gave me his address and phone number. He's an old, experienced trader. I'd better prepare thoroughly.
Okay, so my one problem with this is, like, this demo is just the tutorial so far, and I'm like 30 minutes into it. I really wish I could have gotten more gameplay out of this, because I really just don't know fully what my thoughts on it is. It could be really good, but so far it's just been too much information. I want to know, like, what the game's gonna feel like. Oh my gosh, there's just more. Dude, let me just play the game. Okay. Yep. Exclamation mark. Okay, unread information. So it's just a ton of information. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave this here. This is too much tutorial, and this game could be good. I honestly have no idea. Like, the concepts seem interesting and fun to, like, slowly figure out and do, but my problem is, right, is, like, there's just so much to be doing, like, right off the bat. Like, they should start us off with, like, the basic gameplay and let us learn from our mistakes a bit more, and it just felt too slow to begin with. But I don't know, it could be good. The art's really good, and assuming, like, the gameplay isn't overly slow, which it feels like it might be, we'd be good. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you're thinking of this, because all I really got from that is that was a lot of tutorializing. It could be interesting, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to me here on YouTube, and go follow me over on Twitch. I stream there 4 days a week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode, or video. Yes.